The next person is going to be Handmaid.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Hi.
Thank you so much, Jovan, for all the work and training that you put out. I am in Georgia, and I work with Voter GA Garland Favorito. You might know him.
I do.
Okay. And I also work with a few poll watch trainers in Georgia. And I was listening to what you said about the affidavit, the proper affidavit that we need to do. Say we're a poll watcher and we see something that we need to write out a detailed, our own detailed analysis of what happened, and then get the license.
Yes.
I guess get a licensed notary. If a bank is not open on
It's the difference between the court just considering it a opinion or commentary, or the court continuing it, considering it a bona fide piece of court allowed evidence.
Okay. So my question is, though, if let's say we have weekend voting here in Georgia, so we might be observing something on a weekend when the banks aren't open. If as long as we have a licensed notary, would that be sufficient, or do we literally have to go to a bank?
No, you don't have to go to the bank. I just tell people to go to the bank because if you have an account, it's free. You don't really have to pay for it. That's why I say that. If you have licensed notaries there, and you should have multiples, don't ever get in the crossroads to use one. Here's why. If it ever comes under attack, they'll try to attack that one person. So get multiple people, and you can. And yes, that's just as perfect. Absolutely. But it is that court surrogate, which is exactly what they are, which makes it legal in court and already accepted by the court.
Perfect. And if I may, can I ask one more question? I know your time is valuable.
No, okay, please.
Great. I really, we're in Georgia, and you probably know our situation. We have BMDs pretty much mandated for every precinct. So
right, it's a bad problem.
Yes, we're really in bad shape. So although I hate the absentee ballot, the mail-in ballot, all that type of stuff, I really, really hate that. But being that we only have the BMD option for voting, we have tried a different route, and I'm wondering your opinion on it. We pick up the absentee ballot ourselves, not go through the mail, but we pick it up ourselves from the elections office. We fill it out, and then we return it ourselves on election day. Is that a viable option, in your opinion, please?
Yes. As long as it's required in person, as long as you're requiring an ID and you delivered it in person, you have a far better chance of it being right and tallied correctly, 100%. Secondly, I want to let you know, MDs and localized precinct scanners, they have a data card in the back of them, and it's those data cards that are then transferred by people, couriers, to the actual final tally machine. There are no laws that control that card, and here's what I mean. I can give you a fob. Right now, I could send you a fob that looks no different than any other fob you have. But that fob is a full-blown computer that can run programs, and you don't even know it. And those cards do not have a protocol of check. Here is what I've suggested to lawmakers that should happen. When the precincts being set up, that number one, those fobs and or cards, use it interchangeably. They have to have a serialized certified number. When that card comes into the precinct, as it's being assigned to the machine, and I have created a device that can do this. You take that fob and you stick it into this little handheld device, and it either gives you a red light or a green light. That's it. The red light means there is an executable program on this fob. Do not use it. The green light says this is a blank fob and it's true. Then that fob with that test is certified with a chain of custody and signed off. It is put into the machine. Then at night, when that fob is taken out, that same device, which is not a communication or not a computer or communication device, that same fob is tested a second time. You put it into the slot. It should once again read green, not red. If it rings red, it means that somehow through the system, an executable file got put on it. You've got to catch that then. And then when that FOB's transported, now it's going to be transported from these machines. It's going to go to a central counting center. When that FOB comes in that time, because remember, even though they say 2 people do it and it's got a chain of custody, I still call horseshit on that. What has to happen is that FOB needs to be checked for a 3rd time. And then it's put in again. It should go green light and say there's no executable on here. Then it goes into the tally machines. And then that FOB, which contains that data, must be kept and sequestered by law, U.S. 42, 1974, U.S. 42, 1984, U.S. 52 Code 20-701. It must be kept for 22 months. So if there's ever any questions, that FOB can be accessed again. If we put those steps into it, then yes, we can combat the digital part of the rig, which right now is undetectable.
Oh, wow. That was such great information. I will definitely have to go back and listen to the recording of this space and catch those note those codes down, because I like need to write.
Well, I teach this. I got a thing called fireaxe.academy, FIREAXE.
Okay.
I call it fireaxe because the building's burning. .academy. I teach you. I go through all of these one topic at a time, teaching poll watchers, lawmakers, etc., how to deal with this. There's hundreds of subjects you need to know. They never train you about, and that's what I do at fireaxe.academy, not .com, .academy. And you can actually enroll there. You can be a student of this. You can be the person who really knows how all this works in your precinct. And that's why I did that, because the GOP doesn't teach you this. To be a poll watcher, they don't really teach you how and what you should spot and look for. It's very outdated. And so that's what I do at FireAxe.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for your work. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.